I'm here with the 5 towns and Yorkshire WASPy women. They've been running a great campaign on behalf of women right across this area but across the country as well. They've been so badly treated by this Tory government. They've had their pension age increase, no proper warning. It's moving the goalposts when people can't plan. It's completely unfair. I've been joining them and fighting to try and get this changed. I think it's completely unfair and I want to keep fighting for a fair deal for the WASPy women.
Imagine working your whole life with one plan in mind, retiring at 60. You've saved, planned and made your life decisions with that goal in sight. Then, out of nowhere, your pension age is suddenly pushed back to 65. What do you do? How do you fight back? And perhaps the most important question of all, why is it so hard to get the compensation you were promised? Today, we're diving into the controversy surrounding the WASPy women and their battle for pension compensation. But this isn't just about money. This is about broken promises, politics, and the fight for fairness. Lee Anderson, a Reform UK MP, has recently taken to social media with a shocking revelation. He shared an old clip of Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, from 2017, passionately supporting the Women Against State Pension Inequality, also known as the WASPy campaign. I'm here with the 5 towns and Yorkshire WASPy women. They've been running a great campaign, and they've been treated so badly by this Tory government, it's completely unfair. I'm going to keep fighting for a fair deal for the WASPy women. Now, here's the kicker. 8 years later, the Labour Party, under Sir Keir Starmer's leadership, has completely changed its stance. They're no longer backing compensation for these women. In fact, the current government has flat out rejected the idea. Here's the background. In the 1990s, the UK government made some major changes to the state pension age. Women born in the 1950s saw their retirement age pushed back from 60 to 65, starting with the Pensions Act of 1995. And while that was gradually rolled out, many of these women didn't get proper notice about the changes, leaving them unprepared for their later retirement. The WASPy women have been fighting for compensation for years, arguing that the government failed to communicate these changes effectively. The Parliamentary Ombudsman even recommended compensation between £1,000 and £2,950 per person for the suffering they caused. But here's where it gets really interesting. Work and Pensions Secretary Liz Kendall argues that most women were aware of the changes and that compensating them would be too expensive for taxpayers. Meanwhile, Angela Madden, the chair of WASPy, has expressed her frustration with Labour's reversal. In a recent statement, she called it bizarre and said that Labour's actions left everyone questioning the role of the Ombudsman. If the government can just ignore these recommendations, what's the point? Lee Anderson has been quick to point out the contradiction, sharing that clip of Yvette Cooper from 2017, and sarcastically asking, "She said this with a straight face. Ouch!" And it's not just Yvette Cooper. Back in 2019, Angela Rayner, now the Deputy Prime Minister, was calling the Tories' handling of this issue a scandal, even going so far as to say the pensions had been stolen. Back then, Labour even promised to compensate WASPy women to the tune of £58 billion. Fast forward to today, and the party has turned its back on those very same women. As this controversy continues to unfold, the WASPy campaign is far from over. These women are still fighting for fair treatment, calling attention to the financial struggles they face due to the pension age changes. And while the government is standing firm on its decision, opposition parties like the Liberal Democrats aren't backing down. They've called this a day of shame for the government. Interestingly, there's a new twist to the story. Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, is gaining traction among disillusioned WASPy women. A recent survey showed a massive jump in support for the party, up to 24%, while Labour's support has plummeted to just 7%. Clearly something isn't sitting right with the people who were once Labour's most loyal supporters.